Hello and welcome to another episode. We have a crowdfunding master here, or something like that. Mike was calling it.
Well, the books come out.
Yeah, high praise. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a yes. Anybody who's doing a comic crowdfunding is like, you need to make sure the books actually come out.
Yeah,
and don't
get your books out.
Like some people who have decided to stop packaging their comics nicely.
Well, you can't say that about von Klaus because his books are mailed and they arrive in mint condition.
Nice.
It's part of the process. Everybody, just part of the process. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have that standard because these are our books. These are comics. People love mint. They're here for mint. And
right.
They're graphic novels.
Yeah. My books are so thick. I'll call them a graphic novel or a comic. I don't care. This just for me. Look at that. Yeah, that's a juicy one. 144 pages, I think.
Holy shit.
For everybody. Yeah, that was kind of crazy for my first book too. That's why it took a long time to make. I was totally in over my head, but that's part of the fun, taking the risk, putting out a lot of content. I really wanted to win people over with my first book, so I overdid everything. Was kind of my rule back then.
Well,
I don't recommend that now.
I don't know about that because I just have the book to go by, but I don't think you overdid anything. I think it's a very handsome product. It's not egregious. It's filled with beautiful pinups at the back.
Yeah, fun stuff. I put everything I had, so for me it was overdoing it, but if the end result is people still ask me about this book and talk about it years later, so hells to the something works.
Yeah.
What's your current project?
Current book is Kataru Witch Hunter. The art, everything is already finished. 58 pages. It's a murder mystery story set in kind of a mystical, haunted feudal Japan, where these witch hunters have to use their wits and then their mitts to take down witches. Man, they hunt them down. They've got like a witch problem in this world, and once you corner one, they change shape. And suddenly they're a very nasty character to deal with, bladed fingers and tongues and fire breath and poison darts coming from their mouths. They will not go down without a fight. So witch hunters trained to detect them and to execute them, be able to handle fighting them. Yeah. Good times.
Nice. That's it. So that's your perfect woman, right? With the spikes on the tongues and
I already dated that. Been there, done that. I moved on.
So speaking of your artists, the art by Marco Maccani, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Maccani. Didn't he subsequently change his gender?
Yes.
Yes.
Marco is now Monica.
Okay. Are you still working with Monica?
Yes. We made Terror in the Trenches together, and now we're working on Trenches 2.
Great.
Cool.
Because I got to tell you that she's a terrific artist. Anybody who's seen this book, just look at the cover.
Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, I remember. I was a noob when I had first put that cover on Twitter, and I didn't have any followers or anything. And for the first time ever, I saw comic pros reacting to something I had made. Yeah. And I knew, God, we've got a hit here. Monica's too good. My story, these characters, it all just gels well together. We're making something special. The pros are reacting. Let's go, So what happened was I had actually made a version of Monster M.D with a different artist, just being I'm always been an indie comics maker. I'm always grinding, making things in the background, no matter what job I've had throughout my life. And the first version of Monster M.D was nowhere near this quality and awesome. It was just another indie project. But my artist, luckily, was a jerk and didn't turn in the last 5 pages, or turned in like some chicken scratch as kind of an FU to me. And I was shocked. And I remember back then I was so downtrodden and man, I don't even know if I want to do comics anymore. You put in everything and you get almost less than nothing back. A lot of times you get a stomach punch back. Yeah. Then I saw Monica's art. And I was like, if I combine Monster M.D with this, we'd have a hit. There would be a hit. So Monica helped turn it around, from me from thinking about quitting to making a hit, making something that made over 100K on Indiegogo. So,
Vonster,
that's awesome.
How many projects do you put out a year?
Well, I'm changing gears now because it was just like about one before. I'm putting out Kataru really fast, and then I want to do Trenches 2. I want to start doing 2 a year. That's my new goal for myself, and I think I can do this. I think I can do it. And I want to do smaller books like that I draw myself, kind of like garage rock or punk rock comics, and not worry about the campaign being the biggest thing ever. So if I could get to maybe 3 books a year, that would be ideal. We'll keep working towards that.
And when you launch these projects, what crowdfunding sites do you use?
So I'm using Fund My Comic, the new one for Kataru, and I'm also using Indiegogo. I've used Indiegogo from the start with my other ones, but now for the first time I'm using Fund My Comic, and they are awesome. Can't recommend them enough. They help me through any problems or would spot problems and tell me about it that I might have missed. I mean, you can't get service like that. You know what I mean? From any platform these days, usually. So pretty awesome people.
I think one of the reasons is Luke Stone is a very accomplished illustrator.
Mm-hmm. He gets us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So before we keep talking, I guess we should let you introduce yourself too. Like who is Vonster and how did he get interested in comics and start doing them?
When I was like a kid in the 80s, a comic book called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit the stands, and it was black and white and bloody and gritty and everything cool to me in the world. It was why I first entered a comic book store. And then when I entered the store, I looked around and was like, this is the place to be. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I picked up copies of Wolverine and Ninja Turtles and went home. And from there on, I just loved comics, and I wanted to I started making my own comics at age 8. And I spent my life going, I'm not going to do comics. I'm not going to do comics. I'm going to do, sorry, my weird Apple camera thing just did like a weird camera move on you guys.
That's okay.
For dramatic effect.
Keeps it exciting.
Yep. Okay, good. It's like dramatic effect. Good. The all-seeing eye of Apple. Anyway, so I've been making comics and doing all these other jobs throughout my life, but I feel like I almost should have focused on like trying to break into comics earlier. But I would always tell myself, nah, you won't break in, man. Like don't waste your time in life doing that. It'll break your heart too much. Just do it because you love it. Do it because you love it. No way, man. And so now I get the best of both worlds. I do it because I love it, but I can make a living of it, and I don't worry about breaking in because I don't need in. I can do it on my own. Everything's shifted. Everything's changed. So yeah, I've just been a guy. I love horror and pop culture. To tell you more about me, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, like I said. So a lot of that stuff seeped in. My dad was a VHS-ophile, and so we had a collection, a well-pirated collection of every video store we ever frequented. And so we got to watch these movies over and over and over. My dad dropped like $400 to get a copy of Star Wars on VHS from the video store because you couldn't rent it. You couldn't buy them yet back then. You had to buy it from the store, and so it's at a retarded price, but it was worth it because you could watch Star Wars in home over and over. That was a luxury back then. It was special, you know. He did stuff like that for us. I was growing up back then in Norman, Oklahoma. But then we moved to Tulsa. Our family went bankrupt and had to kind of start over. And we went to Tulsa and started grinding back up. And born in Houston for any Texas people.
Yeah.
Are you in Oklahoma now?
Yes, I am. I'm in Tulsa. I came back. I lived in Chicago and did the school thing and tried to like live and make it out there for 10 years. And then I ended up coming back to Tulsa to start fresh after Trump got elected. And everything was going awesome for those 4 years.
Yeah.
I had a great job. I had it with an office and everything, working for a big organization, running their social media, making awesome films. It was for the zoo. And the zoo hired me to make all their movies. I was in the cages with the animals filming and telling all these stories. I was telling stories. I loved it. And then I broke 3 ribs, was bedridden, and the zoo fired me the day Biden was inaugurated, and my life changed.
How did you break 3 ribs?
I was helping a lady in distress, and I'm an idiot. I pulled at a really bad angle because I think I was moving too fast and I didn't consider, and I pulled too hard on the tire iron to fix it. Popped 3 ribs, popped them. I didn't think they were broken. I was just like, oh, I think I pulled a muscle. Started getting, but the pain started getting to where like my body was sweating from pain, and I was like, okay, something's up. We finished the tire, and I was like, oh god, this is getting worse by the minute. I went to work that day, but I couldn't finish work because the pain was too much, so I had to go get x-rayed, and 3 ribs.
I was gonna say, see you collapse on the ground after helping with her tire.
You got it, lady. That pretty much happened. It was just the worst, man. I've been even ever since that. I still have weird pains, And when I got fired, I was like, oh, this sucks, This is like a low point in life. But it made me realize, like, now's the moment to do comics for a living. And I did Terror in the Trenches, and we had a hit. So it's been great, man. Oh,
what do you think about? Like public domain stuff like that. I mean,
I think it's dangerous to do. Like what I did was risky.
Right.
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
People go, what are you going to do that's interesting?
Use
Black Terror.
Black Terror.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And to me, he was like the coolest public domain character that hadn't been tapped in a way that made me like him. Like he was cool looking, but he wasn't cool like in the comics world.
Right.
And I was like, that's my job. I'm going to make him cool. But I hadn't decided I was going to run a campaign. I just was like, this dude is so cool. I'm going to just write a script that's just awesome and then just leave it like I do. I have all these scripts that just hang. But then when we did character designs, everyone went nuts. And I was like, okay, we've got magic here again. Monica and I can do this again. I asked her if she wanted to do it. She was down. We did Trenches, and the results speak for themselves. I mean,
we're going to have to trade books.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. Yeah. People are loving Trenches too. So far, the response has been really, really good on that one. We're already 25 pages in the Trenches 2. So that campaign's coming sooner than later. So I was excited about that. Oh, good stuff, guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think Black Terror is definitely one of the cooler looking public domain characters, but he's I don't know. Yeah, there are some really, really cool ones. Have you dealt much with the crowdfunding with much of the shipping overseas and things like that? Or are you trying to, I don't know. I'm just wondering if you've had any of the headaches that other people have had.
I do a lot of this myself. I just got notified. No, I didn't even get notified. I keep having to check online on a package that's been missing in Australia. So all my Australian orders, essentially. And they won't notify me of anything. And I just found out that they stopped looking for it and just decided it's lost. So like I'm dealing with that, and that's thousands of dollars. And it's just crazy.
I had a client in Tasmania.
Yeah.
And I sent him book after book, never got there. Finally, I have a friend in Australia. I mailed it to him, and he mailed it to the guy in Tasmania, and he got it. So if you know somebody, well, your clients are in Australia, and it's not getting to them, I guess that advice is needed.
Yeah, I was sending it to a trusted person in Australia who fulfills their own books, Michael Bancroft. We know him. We love him. And I sent a nice batch of candy in there with it, for American candy for him and his family to love and enjoy. And what happens? Lost package. And he said he's never had anything lost when other people have sent to him before for any campaign, just mine. Because Terror in the Trenches, I swear, like it was a hard road, man. We dealt with some hell at the printers. But yeah, fulfillment, it's like a lot of times it's me, and sometimes like my mom might even help me, and that's it. It's like such a bare bones operation. I'm just wrapping packages and trying to make it work. But I've turned it into a science where I'm really fast at it, and it's actually kind of fun. So I'm good to go on fast fulfillment now.
Yeah, especially if you get friends or family or whatever to kind of help, and you turn it into a little thing. And so many people are so many people are used to it too, with because so many people sell online now and everything else. They're used to packing and things like that. So it's it makes sense if you can, because you need to keep the profits to be able to pay yourself and pay people. So
the secret is get low noise tape on a low noise roller.
Yeah.
And you can play movies and actually talk as you're packing. If you don't
yeah.
get that, it's just
Yeah.
So
can grind you down.
Oh yeah. You hear
Well, how many books have you crowdfunded?
Well, we've done 2, Terror in the Trenches and Monster M.D. And I didn't fulfill Psycho Killers, but I was part of that campaign. It was my book, but Gifted Rebels put that one out. So yeah, 2. I would say 2 books crowdfunded. Kataru will be my 3rd.
Great.
Yeah.
What? It is. I know you said you liked doing the films and telling stories with that stuff. Do you think? I'm sure you do, but like some of that experience and just that passion for doing that has kind of helped, translate into making these comics and telling these stories. And I'm wondering if you would want to do any more, stuff like that as far as some sort of filming or whatever, getting more into videos.
Yeah, it's okay. Definitely. I was just talking to Aaron Lepresti about this. He has some film background as well, like me. We both did some of that film school stuff and made some little movies. And both of us similarly decided going into the film industry really wasn't for us, for what we wanted out of life. And we were both talking about how the people who have that film background, they can, and they cared about being a screenwriter or a storyteller, they do bring something to comics that other people might not have sometimes when they're newer or whatever, or when they're just doing it. So yeah, the storytelling that I learned in film school definitely informs my comic making, but that's not as I make comics, just making them informs me more. And what other people have done that's been cool is you learn that comics is its own craft. Do not go in thinking it's like, I already know how to do comics because I've written some screenplays. You do not. It is a different animal.
True.
And so
I always say that comics are the most forgiving medium in the world. And everybody thinks they can do a comic, and everybody does.
You're 100%. Whoopi Goldberg did one, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Everybody thinks they can do it, and they do. But can you? Do you know the real craft? That's the difference. It really will. It'll change everything. I promise you. What you learn, it's worth it. I like it better than screenwriting. I do. It's more fun. It's more something about writing those visuals and guiding it and those snappier, pithier one-liners. I mean, instead of all these different little scenes and little mini actions, you're hitting the broad stroke beats and you're setting the pace. I mean, you get to do so much with it. It's awesome. Whereas you write a screenplay, you have to hand it off to a team. You don't know what the hell they're going to do to it. They're probably going to mutilate it and turn it into something else entirely anyway. Whereas this comic, you've got it under control. Well, for the most part.
Yeah, it's almost like being a director, really. I mean, because you can help choose the setting and the kind of it depends. I mean, obviously it depends on the artists and stuff too. Some artists don't like too many visual suggestions, and other ones are very open to it. But yeah, but I think it's cool.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to your question about whether or not I'd get back into film now, it's a really tricky question because I'm not the type of person that does well on a film set or directing myself. I'm not one of those guys that aspires to boss everyone around. I don't like that stuff. I want to make cool art with cool people and have a damn good time doing it and invite everyone to have a good, have fun. So a film set, it's a different type of person, and bless them. They're amazing to me. I am in awe of these people. They have energy all day to be on these sets doing this. I don't have that energy. I feel everyone else's creative energy sucking mine on the set, and all the chaos you deal with, I just fall apart. And I can't. I'm at the craft station just eating all the granola bars for energy, and I can't keep up with anyone. And it's hilarious. And I can't do. It's not my thing. But it doesn't mean I don't think man, I could just make a short horror movie with my phone now because things are so good. And it would be cool and creepy. There's these moments I have that I have this itch for film, and then I remember how much it takes to actually make it good and do it. It's too much. It's too crazy. I just recently had one of my short films screen at a little festival here in town for a little horror night, and it was awesome. But I didn't go, I want to do that again. I always get the forehead vein thinking about the stress of that production and stuff. So I'd rather avoid film. But man, if people were like, let's buy your books, stories, and turn it into TV, I would want to be very involved, as I could be, like any writer would be. You know, of course they won't let you be, but you know, that's something for me to figure out later, hopefully.
Yep.
It's you can't make cool new TVs and movies if you don't take risks, you know. That's why everything's recycled garbage. Yep. And so part of me sometimes is like, if the right film people came to me and said, get us the script, Vaughn, I'd be so into it. But like the script part. Right. Maybe some ghost design. I love designing all my characters and all that stuff. So I could do designs too. Hell, I even design you a t-shirt. I love doing that. But like being on set, it just kicks my ass too much. Some people thrive on it. I don't.
Yeah. People don't realize, how long the days can be and stuff, where it's like you're on set for like 16 hours and stuff, and it's.
I almost died on like a late night overnight shoot in the winter of Chicago streets, like 4 a.m. freezing on the street all night. And I'm not getting paid. I'm just like an intern student, you know. And I get home, like, get in the bathtub, like just
the windy city.
All myself. Oh God, what a city!
Yeah, it gets cold up there in the upper Midwest. That's why we moved to Colorado. And they say, Colorado, what are you, crazy? Aren't the winters so bad?
Yeah.
No, not compared to Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah. Chicago was horrible winters, man. They never ended. I swear it was like 9 months of snow and 3 months of awesome in Chicago.
Yeah, it just seems that way.
Yeah, it just feels that way because the gray sludge of the snow just lasts on the streets for so long.
Yeah.
I loved biking around Chicago. That was a great time, though. It's a city built for biking. It's pretty cool.
Do you still ride a bike?
I do.
Yeah, me too. That's one thing I love about the town in which I live. The bike trails are magnificent. And I'm usually out there every day, weather permitting.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. We've got that gathering place now. They spent like $1 billion on this super park. And they've got awesome biking and bike trails and like things for you to do your like BMX tricks and stuff and pools.
Yeah, we got those too.
It's rad stuff. But I never got into BMX, and I wish I did as a kid.
No,
it was so rad.
I don't do mountain biking. It's hard enough to pedal on pavement. But you know, we got all these crazy bikers around here. They're always biking up into the mountains.
Right.
And you know, one day a friend of mine and I rode our motorcycles into Rocky Mountain National Park, and we took Trail River Road, which is unpaved. It's nothing but switchbacks all the way. I don't know how we made it, but we got up there, and the parking lot was jammed, and people waiting to get in backed up 2 miles. And we went to the overlook, and there's a guy there in the bicycle spandex. And I say, "How did you get up here?" He says, "I rode my bike." He said, "Where did you start?" He says, "I started in Denver." You have no idea how difficult that was.
Yeah, that's amazing. That guy that's what he lived to do, to turn his body into a machine that can go that far with the little spandex and stuff. When I first got my bike, I ran into one of those dudes with the spandex and the weird helmets and like all the gear. And I thought he was mocking me because what happened was I had just bought my bike and I was biking at home for the first time. I hadn't biked in the city before. And I'm just like, you know, you pretend you know what you're doing. You stay in the bike lane. Everything should be okay, right? So I'm just in like regular clothes on this bike. I'm probably not looking too graceful. I haven't ridden a bike in a while at this point either. And the guy pulls up next to me and he goes, "Nice bike." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this guy's giving me shit." This guy's giving me shit. It was a new bike, but it was. Here's the thing I found out from this dude, Mr. Spandex. Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, "Notice there's no branding on your bike." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's no." I thought it was really clean and beautiful. He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, we call that a stealth bike on the streets." I'm like, "A what?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a stealth." He's like, "There's no branding on your bike, so bike thieves will pass you up because they can't sell that stuff."
It's bike shaming. Bike shaming.
Bike shaming. No. He was. I thought he was bike shaming. Yeah. And then he goes, "You made the right decision," and then biked away.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna steal your bike.
Nobody's gonna steal my bike. And I had no idea I bought a stealth bike. I just thought it was beautiful. I thought it looked cool and it was chromy.
Is it a 10-speed?
Yeah. Yeah, it came with some speeds, and it's like perfect for me in the streets. It's beautiful, and it was cheap. You know what I mean? It was like $300.
Wow!
But it was a cool little bike from this German part of town where this German guy, I think, would take parts from other different bikes from Europe and then turn them into a Franken bike and then sell them.
I like that.
It gives you a stealth bike, so thieves won't bug you.
So,
because all my friends got their bike seats stolen every day in Chicago.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And did they have brands? Steal. Did they have brands on the seats? Or
yes.
They just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Nobody would steal my bike seat because it's the most uncomfortable seat ever invented.
What year is it from?
Well, actually, I'm talking about my Trek, which I bought 30 years ago in Wisconsin. I'm still riding. But the new bike I got, which my sister bought me, it's electric, and it has a seat made out of a cinder block or something.
Nah.
And it's not full electric. It's kind of half-assed electric. The motor only cuts in when you're pedaling.
Nice.
It needs you to help it.
It's great. I love it, but the seat has got to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You sure it's not like a female seat?
No, it's like a seat for a gorilla or something.
Female seats are big padded experiences of luxury and bliss and for
like
big
a tractor
booties.
seat. That's what I need. Just put a tractor seat on it.
That sounds comfy. Can you pedal on it though? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
well, who knows? Yeah, that's a good question.
I
see these people on 10 and 20 speed bikes, and they're always got their ass in the air as they're getting their full weight into it. I have to tell you that an accomplished bicyclist never lifts his ass off the seat. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
If your bike is properly adjusted.
Right. The right gear.
Yeah. Yeah. So wait, all right. See, you guys are making like I want like a bike zombie apocalypse show or comic or something where I mean everybody's always walking. Why would you not get on a bike or something to get away?
That
faster?
Apocalypse movie, Turbo Kid, he rode his BMX everywhere.
Did he?
Yeah.
And then
that makes sense to me.
One-wheeled electric skateboards. Have you seen those? The big fat wheel in the center?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They ain't cheap.
They'll move fast too. I've seen people blaze on those. It's crazy.
So have I'm sure Mike has, but have you thought about doing any stories about something else like unusual like that, like biking or something else?
Yes, that's hilarious that you say that. I thought about how, of course, in biking, doping has been a big controversy, and there's been all kinds of stuff with that over the years. And one of the drugs they use is called EPO. I don't know if you know it or not, but it's one of the things they use to have a performance enhancer. And what's crazy to me about EPO is that you would have to get up in the middle of the night, make sure your alarm wakes you up around 2, 3 a.m. and then ride a steady bike to burn all the extra oxygen or whatever is going on inside your body. Because if you don't wake up, you'll die from the EPO.
Oh, come on.
And I thought, dude, because you have to burn it up. You better do it. So I was like, well, what if someone made sure someone's alarm didn't go off and they died and we had a murder mystery during like a big
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be fun. Yeah. So that's another one of my.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. Don't write it down, Mike. That's his idea.
I see it. He's writing EPO. He's writing EPO.
Those are the great. Those are the great things though, because those are really cool murder mystery things too. When you find out, oh wow, that's you can do this. That's what I told some people. Well, and some of it was from research. Yeah. I was like, one of the best ways to kill someone is give them an insulin overdose, because the needle mark disappears within like 5 minutes. And it's really hard to this is like all these different like experts that I'm a diabetic though, so that's why I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's like fascinating. But those things are, I mean, to me, like those things really are like, because it's hard. It's definitely harder for the readers or the viewers to catch on if they don't know what that twist is or whatever, or what the thing is. But if it is a legit thing, then it's like, oh wow, yeah, that's fascinating that they actually thought of that, but
do you inject yourself, Jeff?
do I inject myself? Yes, I inject myself. Why? Do you have a manservant that injects you? No, I'm joking.
I got some heroin if you want.
No, no, I'm looking for EPO personally, but
gotta get that enhancement.
Yeah,
get that boost. Just make sure you wake up to burn it off in the night.
Oh, dude, with our elderly dog, I'm up all night long.
You're done. You're covered.
He'll save my life. But
yeah, so that's like one weird out of nowhere idea I would have. Can't think of any other ones at the moment that are like unlike me.
Yeah. That's kind of well. I mean, and that would be kind of cool, like if you did some kind of anthology or something, and you had different monster horror stories, murder mystery.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I've thought about that. Call it triple threat. 3 stories.
People don't like anthologies. Don't do as well, but you can do cool. It doesn't mean you can't do a good anthology.
Yeah.
You say Graham Nolan put out an anthology last year called Giant Size Stupid Manly Tales, and that did real well.
And that was great too. Like, what a great team up, great marketing, great offerings on the campaign. I thought for what it was, it was just fun, and doing giant size, like smart, good risk to take because it's a Manly Tales. Let's go giant,
right?
Baby.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And didn't he have? It's his fancy Apple thing. Remember, he's
something to learn from.
He's a filming genius.
Yeah, it's like zooming in on me a lot now. I can't believe it does that too. It gets moody, and I don't even know. It doesn't know what to zoom in on. It's like they give this to me by default. I don't know if I could change the settings. Maybe I can, but I'm like, this isn't high tech. This is silly. You guys.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, because it's not doing it. Oh, now was that wasn't you?
Does that? No, I just changed the setting. Does that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now it's holding steady.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know if it was when you move forward or back a little bit, if it was trying to overcompensate or something.
That's pretty much what's happening. Yeah. I get confused, I guess. What was that?
Uh-oh.
There's a seal. I have a pet seal.
Sounded like the dog was blowing its nose. So when do you have the crowdfunding thing right now, or are you getting ready to start one?
Oh, I sure do. Do you want me to link it to you, or?
Sure. Well,
let's present. Let's share some screens. Yeah, this is me right now.
Oh yeah.
Taru Witch Hunter. Story about a witch hunter in kind of a haunted feudal Japan trying to solve a ritualistic murder where someone has hidden someone's poor mom as a scarecrow and taken out her eyes and fed them to the crows so that they could see through the crow's eyes and spy on people and do creepy witchy stuff. Kataru is trying to solve this murder while this kind of corrupt town encloses around him and the family involved. And it's a one and done story. Story's already done. Art by Felix Novera and inks by me. This is something that I physically inked back in the day and did just before Monster M.D. We made this, and I rewrote it and polished it recently and relettered it, and it's just looking pro. It's looking badass. I love it. I thought this is a damn good story. Let's add this to the Rise Again library and put it out for people.
Yeah, I reposted that on my Twitter file.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate. Cool. Always need that support, man. It's basically very Ninja Scroll. If you ever saw that anime, it's violent, but it's got some cool mystery and some crime solving stuff mixed in. That's kind of what I went for with this samurai action of Lone Wolf and Cub, stuff like that, and ninja action mixed with supernatural. And of course, I think I was probably watching a lot of British mystery. I wanted to try a mystery when I did this, so that's how this all kind of came together. I love the idea of these kids raised to be these very smart, tactful hunters that can detect these witches with their own form of forensics, you know, and then it's like the battle's on and they got to fight them, and it's physical, it's brutal, it's horrific. It's everything cool in comics that I like. So we putting this out. Got an awesome cover by Oren, who's doing Band of the Crow. That's going to be an awesome book. So he just nailed this. I love it. Really beautiful piece. And we're selling other cool things with this campaign. You don't just get the cool one and done Katara Witch Hunter story with an 8-page bonus story by me and Preston Acevedo. It's going to absolutely thrill you. You get the art book, and this is all my art over the years, character designs for films, books I have done, books I haven't done yet that you're going to see me do. So it's like a sneak peek. We're calling this Necrovanicon.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's fun. I got all my design work for over 20 years of work together and more than design work. You'll see a lot of stuff. I'm going to do a lot of notes. It's a very personal book, but you can maybe learn things about how I make my comics if you're into that. So I think that could be pretty cool for people. And then we have the sweet Preston Acevedo variant cover. Yes, the colors are beautiful. It's heavy metal as it gets. It's Preston Acevedo, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We already sold the painting of this, the original painting of this too. So someone's have something cool for their walls. And if you missed my first 2 killer books, here they are as add-ons when you check out.
Cool.
And like I said, I love to make shirts. I think the crest of the witch hunter reminds people to not mess with you, and that witches get stitches.
Yeah.
So we've got all kinds of fun stuff here. I think that's about it, though. I'm trying to keep this campaign simple, easygoing, light, low stress. Just the books are, or the main story's done. The books, Necrovanicon's almost done. We're going to be done with this in a few months, and then just get it out to people, make people happy, move on to Trenches 2. But yeah, I really love this one. I don't know if I can show the trailer on this.
Or if I put full screen, probably, yeah. Let me.
Okay, let's see what we can.
Nice.
Very nice.
Did you do the editing on that, or did you? Yep. Cool. Looks like a cool cross too between like anime style and American style. For some reason, I'm trying to.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
That's my bad, not yours, dude. So, no, it is very manga influenced, but it's very Vaughn book in the end. Very gothic, dark, horrific, great, funny one-liners, some really cool twists you're gonna love. Great art, but yeah, we were definitely, my penciler style, we were definitely doing a little more manga influence for it.
Yeah,
trying it out.
When do you anticipate fulfilling?
I'd like to finish this campaign in just a few months and then go straight to printing and fulfillment within 3 months. Would be awesome. Yeah, that's our plan. And of course, who knows how it'll go. But this time I think we've got a good printer set up that I can trust a little more, that'll get it done and won't have as many problems. So not too worried about that now. I'm excited. I want to challenge myself to do it fast. I want to do color vision printing.
Where is that?
I forgot where that they had multiple factories last I checked, but they just they had gone under, but they just came back. And so I want to like call them and be like, where are you guys now? How is everything? But like, since they came back, I just, I want to use them again. I loved them for Monster M.D. I trust them still. So yeah, I wanted to use them for trenches, but didn't get to. And then when I didn't get to, it ended up being a really bad time.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely makes you want to go back to what you have confidence in.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss them. they were more hands-on, and the book came out more like how I needed everything to come out, and I didn't have to pay a bunch of extra money to them like I did this other printer because there kept being so many problems. So it was crazy. I felt like I was getting bled for a little bit, and now they're losing my Australia orders.
Yeah.
Good times.
You might try pirate shipping. We've had some luck with that.
I did use pirate ship for the Australian order for the labeling because they was so cheap. They gave me the best rate. They were perfect for it, but someone in Australia, someone in an Australian factory took my box.
Selling
them
on the street.
They saw the candy. They smelled the candy.
Yeah.
Poured open.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll got to fix that soon.
Yeah. So when does that one end? That campaign?
Which one?
The one you just has it not started? Is it about to start? The witches.
Kataru is already going, baby. Kataru is going. We've got 24 days left on the first 30.
Okay.
And we'll see where we're at. I think it will do another 30 and then go to print and get this thing out.
Cool.
Yeah. I always like the idea of like witch hunting, but trying to figure out my own cool way to do it other than just the classic Puritan,
Right.
And so I think this book came out pretty badass. I think people are going to dig it.
Very cool. So what all are you using the Fund My Comic for? Are you also doing some of that one there, or are you keeping the things with Fund My Comic separate from Indiegogo?
Fund My Comic is the pretty much going to contribute to the printing and everything. They get a separate deal though.
Right.
You can get both my first books for some money off if you do the Fund My Comic route. So just a little, deal for just them. Make it special for them. And I'm going to make sure people on Fund My Comic get a free trading card or something cool too. So
Very cool.
Little bonus there. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Like I'm just hoping to raise enough funds to print and ship this and put out an awesome looking book like I usually do.
Nice. I want
to do it fast. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
I wanted to do it fast.
Is
like,
good.
I want to challenge myself. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Let's just see how fast I can do it. Like, challenge myself. So that's part of the fun too. But it's also not going to be as big as my other campaigns. But I don't care. Like, awesome book, worth adding to the library. Like, I think people have asked me to make it too when they've read the digital edition from way back when. So,
right.
So I hope the fans dig this.
Yeah. Well, I think fast is good too because so many comic fans are used to things coming fast, so it makes sense. That's one of the only downsides with comics being in the crowdfunding marketplace is just they have to wait so long to get their comics when they're used to going every week or 2 weeks or whatever to a store. But
well, that's true. But there's a core group that's getting much better on fulfillment. I mean, people were complaining about waiting for books for 2 or 3 years, but the core group has made an effort to step it up and fulfill as rapidly as possible. And nobody does it better than us because we delivered Bronze Star way ahead of schedule. And every book that I've crowdfunded so far, including Thin Blue Line and Private American, has been delivered on schedule. But that's because we got a great guy in charge.
Yeah.
Nice. And no one talks about that enough. Right, like they always try to focus on the it's late, and that affects everyone. Now everyone's hurting, and no, it's just.
Well, I have to say the reception to Bronze Star has been overwhelmingly positive, and many people were surprised about how fast they got the book.
Nice.
I mean,
well done.
They should be. Is that? Would you guys both say that that's probably really good advice for people to, either have the book done or very close to being done, or extremely close to being done before you
Yes,
start a campaign?
Books are done before we start the campaign. Now,
Yeah.
how do we do that? Well, when we have to pay out of pocket, we use residuals from previous campaigns because the books are available in perpetuity. If you missed any of my campaigns, you can go to baroncomics.com and get any book I've crowdfunded in the past 3 years, and they will be available forever.
Cool.
That's perfect. I want to set that up on my website. Rising in Comics, the store is almost done. So I do a crowdfunder. The book goes on the store. Do a crowdfunder, book goes on the store. Getting that set up soon.
More creators are doing their own crowdfunding sites. I think we're headed that way as well. But we will always use Fund My Comic because they're good people and we like them. And they came into existence specifically to deal with the problem of shadow banning.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a real problem too. It's when you talk to Indiegogo about it, they just act like you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, and tell you that you need to promote your campaign more. And they've literally turned off your ability to promote it or for new people to find it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, and it's like what's crazy to me about it is I'm starting to realize that it's something that they programmed into our profiles on their website to where every campaign I do is just going to get automatically shadow banned without a person even having to push a button. I don't violate any rules or anything. It's just in the code that I get suppressed. Who knows if the person who even put that button. Yeah, you get suppressed. The Lepresties, they Kit Carter. I mean, there's nothing wrong with their campaign. You can't even find it on a Google search. Like they suppressed it harder than even mine. And you're just sitting there going, to what end? Like, so you guys don't make as much. We don't. Now we don't want to use your. It's so you don't want to use their platform anymore. They want you off. They want you off. So I don't know what can be done. If anything, I'd rather just support good new ones like Fund My Comic.
Well, people are talking about it, and hopefully that'll have an effect because there's only one thing the rich and powerful fear, and that's bad publicity, and that's always been the case.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, like you guys are saying too. I mean, a lot of time, like I've seen them and Kickstarter too, both kind of argue that that some of the ones that are not seen as well, it's like, well, they're not as popular people, or it's not as popular. I'm like, no, that's not true, because I've seen that with extremely popular people with millions of followers and stuff, and suddenly they can't find them. No, that's like, sorry.
Our Kickstarter was removed from Kickstarter because a vicious blue-haired bitch who was funding her own comic on Kickstarter at the time wrote an article filled with lies.
Yeah.
And got us kicked off of Kickstarter. However, every time that happens, it boosts our funding level because people don't like it. They don't like lying, cheating, malicious people going.
Right.
That I'd never even heard of this woman before, and was plain from the article. She's never read anything I'd written. She just got it in her head. And there's a certain class of people like that who just have a malicious bent. And if they see somebody they don't like for whatever reason, they're to go on the internet and try and cancel them.
Right. And the left justifies it by saying, well, you're part of the right. Yeah. They label you, and then that's their justification. That's all the justification they need.
That's right. And by the way, the book is Private American, and you can get it at theprivateamerican.com or at baroncomics.com.
Sweet. I got to trade books with you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, we will.
Trenches.
I think Jeff's got some books coming out too.
Mike will legit share some. Will definitely. Mike is great, and I do tell people, like, when Mike has said, "So, hey, send me your book, I'll send you some of mine," and I'm like, they're like, "Is he serious?" I'm like, "Yes, he's serious." He
loves
comics.
Another copy of The Architect.
Oh gosh, this is a joke, because every few months he would send me a couple different comics, and he always included this one called The Architect in it, and it's like, and it's a one-shot graphic novel, so it's just the same thing all the time. I'm like, Like I feel like I have a subscription to the architect or something.
You should put them all together on your shelf and take a picture of all your architects.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is, honestly, and that's, I mean, the good thing is when I have multiple copies of something, I'll, that's easy for me to share with other people and get them interested.
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean,
I've got a brother who's it's so funny as my brothers
get older, they're way more into the stuff they were into when they were 12 and realized that it was actually cool. And they spent their life trying to pretend it wasn't cool. So now, like, they're like, can we go looking for Ninja Turtles figures today, please? It's like, dude, what the hell? It's like, you're not getting younger, you're getting older. I know, but I want those figures. But like, they love comics now. They're getting awesome comics. So I've been getting to give them all kinds of extras I have and stuff. They love it.
That's cool. You did say, I should have hit this when you were on it, but you did say you had some cool like extra things that you were giving or doing with that Indiegogo campaign. Did you mention what they were?
Indiegogo has we just have a trading card if you had signed up.
Cool.
I might end up giving everyone one, but it depends on how much we make.
Right.
But it's nothing too super special or like it's
right.
Actually on Indiegogo you can get the original art. Cards. Yeah. I have a whole box full of my tchotchkes from all the campaigns I've supported.
Right.
Like every sticker, bookmark, trading card, like it's all in there.
Posters.
And posters are stacking up too. So I'm trying to do less tchotchkes on my own campaigns to just focus on the books. But
us too. And my advice is if you're going to offer extras, make sure they're flat and easily mailed with the comic. And unless you have a much more elaborate campaign, is I got to say that Ethan Van Sciver's toys are first rate.
Yes, they are. They compete with anything on the market. I mean, they're rad.
Wow.
Make sure it fits. Make sure everything fit. Like I like to make sure my poster and my prints all fit into a comic bag.
Right.
When I design them, so I can put it all together. That's a good way to make the shipping safe for your campaigns, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot of great advice out there, but a lot of people just don't want to take the time to do the research of just from all the people who have put things out there. And there's a few different podcasts and things too that are great, where you can hear a lot of different tips and tricks from people that really help out a lot. But some people just don't want to put the time in. It's like, do you want to be successful? Do you not want to be successful? Do you, and then I've had, I don't know if you've run into this, probably not. But one of the things too that's aggravating to me, that which I get, like some people are so like obsessed with fame that they want, and they're so used to the old days of massive numbers of comic sales that they don't, even if they raise $10,000 with 30 people on their campaign, it's not a success for them because it's only 30 people. And it's like, it's, I mean, I don't know. Like to me, it's like, yeah, but 30 people funded, gave you this much money. Like that's how much value.
Point, because as entertainers, we try to cast as wide a net as possible.
Right.
We want to, yeah, for sure.
But like with a lot of stuff, and like you're saying, I mean, you have to build up though. You keep putting things out.
You do. It's tricky because for one person's success, another person goes, oh, that's not enough. But back, when people who had never made a comic before were making like 30, 40, 50, 80, 100K on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's significant for sure. But how many backers did you get? Yeah, it's important that you get more and more eyes on your book and more people reading your stuff and talking about it to keep you going, to keep them coming back. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to get that. Right now, it feels more uphill climby, and I'm just, I'm here for it. I'm going to do it. But it feels harder to get people to buy things at the moment where everything is.
Everything is more expensive than it was.
I mean, it's the economy, and also kind of oversaturation too. I mean, there's just so many people doing stuff. And there is like, I mean, but like Mike says, I mean, most of it is junk. But that also becomes a problem because then people have to weed through that crap.
Yeah. Well, but the people who love us will do it. I mean, that's part of the experience, right? Fumbling through all the crap.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
And the good guys, I like to think the good art stands out and stands for itself. And but at the same time, you do have to put yourself out there. You got to get on YouTube. You got to talk to people. You got to make that happen. Get a face to the creator for people, because that helps them too. It's about building trust, you know, and that's one of the ways you do it. As an artist, this is the best we're gonna get, right? Of not having to leave our house, but still getting to put ourselves out there with the internet. It's a new world for that. So of course it's going to be oversaturated, right? Like it's the internet. There's more people, more easy opportunity to get yourself out there. But like good art, let's hope it prevails, right? Like people are looking for it. And some of us are doing it. There's still masters like Mike at work making cool stuff to this day. So like people are supporting it, man. It's there. So yeah, we're going to have down times, but it will always come back up. Always.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and thanks for. Is there anywhere that you would like people to follow you online?
I'm on Twitter under Rise Again Comics, or look for Vonster, and riseagaincomics.com is my website. You could sign up there so you never miss a release. You'll get cool special offers. You'll find out about campaigns before we launch. It's a pretty sweet mailing list. It's fun, a lot of good art, a lot of good times. And my YouTube is Von's Haunted Castle.
You can follow me there too.
Very cool.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Thank you guys. Good talking to you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.